everybody walks away from it, right? The guy obviously wasn't going to a prom. If he was, whatever they were doing in a parking garage. All right, before we get to today's video, I've got the new Super Speeders t-shirts. So if you want to get your hands on one of these, check the link in the description, superspeedersmerch.com. I'm going to make 1,000 on this first run, and of those 1,000 buyers, I'm going to select one of you randomly to come on our trip to Canada, which is Adventure Drives Canada, coming up next month. It's going to be in July. If you can't make it, don't worry about it, because I will auction off the winner's spot if they can't participate, and you'll get the money and somebody else will get the spot. So either way, you're going to win. It should be a great time. Try them out. There's going to be 2 different links, one for international, one for domestic. So if you are having something shipped overseas, make sure to click the right link. Good luck to you. Hope to see one of you out there. I know I will. All right, guys, what's going on? Rob Ferrari here. And you may remember, I mean, you probably don't remember, many years ago when I was working with another company, I remember hearing about a Ferrari California that crashed into a wall. Now, the story went at the time was that the renter was in a parking spot and he stepped on the gas in front of the brakes and totaled the Ferrari. I'm like, you know, I know Ferrari Californias, even the T, and you can't go from stationary into the wall and cause this much damage. And I was obviously right. I didn't have the details at the time. Long story short, the company, I wasn't working for the company at the time. They fired me because they owed me a lot of money. So when you start owing somebody a lot in back pay and then a lot in like expenses that he lays out because he's embarrassed you're not paying the vendors, what's the only logical move is just to fire the guy when he's asking to get paid back. So I wasn't working at the company at this time, but this company that I was working for, which I now have a 7-figure judgment against, had a division called Special Services. Now, Special Services was code for like, all protocol goes out the window. These people give us a lot of money or they're special. So don't worry about rental contracts. Don't worry about insurance verification. Don't even worry about collecting money. We'll sort that out later. You see how that worked out for them. Despite conventional logic, it may have worked out occasionally, but it also fails very hard when you give somebody that much leeway. So I don't know the rapper's name, but I remember that they took 2 cars. They took a Rolls-Royce drophead and they took the Ferrari California T. And this was one of those things that he was renting it for his prom. Now, I don't begin to question how people make their money, but if you're successful and you want to take 2 cars to your prom, God bless you. My company at the time handed the keys to the car over to these guys. Next thing you know, I see this video floating on the internet 6 years later, and I was like, that looks familiar, and that looks exactly like I thought it would look, because this isn't exactly how the story went that was told to us. And ultimately, these guys, if you watch the video here, they're driving around the parking lot, and you could see the one guy sitting on the back of the car. Don't do that. It's unsafe, especially when you're going around turns. You don't really have anything to hold on to, so sitting on the top of the car, not a good move, especially when you want to go all kamikaze into a wall like this. So as you can see, they go full-blown send right into the wall. And you could see after they hit the wall, the wheel, the back end is up and the wheels are still spinning and accelerating. It was probably a situation where the guy didn't step on the gas instead of the brake, but he was stepping on the gas and he may have had bigger shoes and the shoe got stuck. So his shoe got stuck under the brake pedal and he was just sort of stuck full throttle and full send into the wall. Again, good reason not to sit on the car. It doesn't look like either of these guys were hurt because they were both able to jump out of the car. And next thing you know, we've got the cleanup crew in here taking care of it. Now, it's bad because this happened and then obviously everybody walks away from it, right? The guy obviously wasn't going to a prom. If he was, whatever they were doing in a parking garage. And the company that obviously owes me money ultimately tried to sue the rapper, and because he would be the one with the deepest pockets. I don't think they had the paperwork that lined up. They went after him. I think, according to TMZ, it was about $500,000 because, and it was only a $225,000 car, but the car was totaled, and then they go after loss of use at $1,599 a day for however many days. Whatever it is, it wasn't a good move. No matter what, even if the car was $220 at the time, even just, it's probably an inflated number, even if it was like $180 at the time, and you sell the salvage for $120, they're only out $60 grand, but nobody wants to be out $60,000 because of their silly policies. And this one stinks. I don't know where this ever ended up because this was back in 2016. It may have settled. It may have gone nowhere. These guys didn't default on me until 2017 or 2018. So they may have tried to ride this lawsuit for a while, and then when they shut the business, they just walked away from it or pursued it on the side. I don't know. I still have to figure out if I'm going to go after that company for money, but that's neither here nor there. They fired me because I gave them advice. Like, hey, you know, there's a little bit of extra risk here. No, it's worth it. And you know what? To be fair, it was worth it. There were some Saudi customers that would take a Aventador for $400,000 for a month. That pays for the Aventador. It's a free car. So whether they ever collected that money is a different story, but they did have enough success in the past to make that special services unit worth it, and special services trumped any sort of regional office, any sort of logic, any sort of practicality when it came to like, hey, you know, the risk on this doesn't seem to be worth it. Nope, give them the car, don't even ask. Drop it off here, leave the key in the glove box, they'll take care of it. So special services in this scenario did not work. This is a full send into a wall, which sucks. Like, how do you total a car in a parking garage? And I remember this way back when we're talking early 2000s. My buddy had a 355 Spider totaled in a parking garage when he went to dinner. And he came back from dinner like, I'm sorry, sir, your car has been in an accident. And he looked, and the whole front end was smashed up. These guys had to be full on accelerating without even touching the brake to go sailing into a concrete wall. Feel bad for the wall, feel bad for the car. Don't feel bad for the guys jerking around in the parking garage. But that's how you total out a Ferrari in a parking garage, and it turns into a $500,000 lawsuit. Rob Ferrari, thank you for watching. I'm sure if you look in the comments, people know who the rapper was and all of that stuff. I'm not getting into it because I don't really care. But it is when I saw this tumbling around the internet, I'm like, oh, no kidding, I know that. That's like, this is my scenario. And then you see the California plates on the back, and I'm like, that was my car. Rob Ferrari, thank you for watching. See you next time.